What's going on? What's going on? Midwest in the building, y'all. I want to welcome everybody. As well. We're gonna welcome everybody. With that being said, my disclosure. I'm not an attorney. I don't give legal advice. I'm not a legal advocate. So if you're looking for legal advice or a legal attorney, you have to, go find them online somewhere because that's something that we don't do over here at MWEDU. And with that being said, all my rights are reserved. And oh yeah, I know my rights. Um, Close that. What's going on, y'all? What's the word? Comments. All right. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing out there? You said tapped in. It's all good. It's all good. Josh, I've been waiting on you to come back. I've been back. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Live and direct. Got a special guest today. We go let me see if I got something up here real fast. Let me create something real fast. Because we got a special guest. I got a special guest for you guys today. I'm gonna blow y'all minds today. Um, so this what we go. I'm gonna add this right here. We got a special guest, 1099A update. All right. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I know everybody waiting. I'm trying to let some more people get in. Okay, champ, what's good? What's good? I'm letting some more people get in. Come on in and share this because this right here is going this the live everybody been waiting on. Here it come. Bring me that pack of cigars off my table, and then we come back and give me a bottle of water out that refrigerator. We finna do this and do this right. So with that being said, what's good? What's good with everybody? MW in the building, Moneyboy Films in the building. What's up, Raya? Is in the building. The Shogun. What's going on, my brother? I got a special guest today. We're gonna get someone in 1 second. I'm just waiting on a couple more people to come into the live, and then I'll introduce them and then bring them into the live, and then we'll go from there. With that being said, what's up? What's up? Manifesting at home. I see. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. You plant the seed, it shall grow. Hey, I'm live, Shipper. If you want to jump into the live.
Yeah, I'm headed there now. I'm looking for the link.
All right. Well, you just probably have to find me on YouTube. Go over there because I'm on StreamYard right now. He said okay. New spot must be the background.
I see you. I see you on. I see you now. Oh, I see it upcoming. If I click on it right now, will it?
I'm not sure. That you probably just go to my channel and just click on it, and I'm there.
Okay, cool.
So with that being said, I'm gonna introduce Drew Jarrett from last night in the live chat. We couldn't see him, but today I'm gonna bring him up on the screen so he can let you guys know how this works and how we're gonna operate. And with that being said, what's going on, Drew?
Not much, man. How are you doing?
All right, we live, and the people is pouring in. I gave them a little update that that you was ready to work with the people, so we're gonna see what they're talking about, and I'll let you give a little intro on what you can do and what your availability as far as the 1099A process.
All right, man. So yeah, so my wife and I have been willing to open up our businesses to become the trustees for everybody, to help them to acquire property. So or cars or whatever you're looking to do. And actually, as I see people in this in the comment section over here, some of you guys have reached out to us. Be patient. We're trying to get to everybody. I mean, we've been blown up from the Hauser site. Now we got Midwest coming in and blowing our emails up too. So So it's been, we're trying to catch up with everything, but yeah, we're willing to assist anyone, make this thing become a reality. So anybody got questions?
Yeah, absolutely. That's wonderful. Like I told the people last night, that was like a dream come true for you to just come out, for Terry to introduce us to you, and you to be willing to work with, with the people out here that's trying to acquire these properties and vehicles and things. Like I said, that was like a gift from God. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all came out of the blue with that, and we need that. April Smith said, "Hey, Drew."
Yeah, I've
Like
talked to April. I've got a call scheduled with YVNG. I don't know how to pronounce it, but
right. That's cool. MW
so,
always coming. Like,
yeah,
absolutely, money.
We've got
We're
several
just trying
set
to
up.
get everybody ready and get everybody situated, because we can make this happen for everybody. So why not, let's take advantage of this while we got somebody that's willing to help us get through this process. And like he said, he talked to a few of y'all. He set up calls for y'all. So I see a lot of people saying, "Hey, Drew. Hey, Drew."
Oh yeah.
Are you guys connected all the way in Florida with realtors? Wherever you at in the U.S., we'll be able to help you. So that's the good thing about Drew. That's what makes this so spectacular for us, because he can help us.
So I mean, with our process, I mean, we're going to be able to help you in whatever state you're looking at. So we can do it a couple of different ways. We can do it as a consultant and help you find the house or whatever, explain the process a little bit to whoever we get the contract with, and then set it up going through a title company. The big problem with that is, I mean, you got to have a longer close date. You got to be able to come up with some earnest money if they're going to want it. That's the big thing. Or you can utilize us with our EIN numbers, and we become the trustee when the funds come in. Then it's basically just, we let you know what's up. Hey, your money's in. Let's go pick out a house. And then we wire transfer everything to title for closing. And then they cut us, what we're looking at, pay for closing, cut you the difference after everything's paid and done. So.
Absolutely. So that's why he's here, for those who is interested in moving forward with that. What I'm gonna do is, Drew, I'm gonna create a banner and I'm gonna put your email address on there. Would that be cool?
Yeah, man, go ahead, because I just saw somebody say to verify it. So
yeah,
that'd be great.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot of people that like to show me. They like to show it from the show me state. So
hey, and in Midwest, you can put my wife's on there as well. It's Tara. Okay.
Yeah, you say your let me see. Let me edit this one. And then you say your wife's is, what is it?
Tara, Tara, Jarrett, Jarrett, Realtor at gmail.com.
All right, so we got Tara Jarrett Realtor at gmail.com, and I got Drew Jarrett Realtor at gmail.com.
That's it, man. That's it.
All righty. Then. And then I'll put that up there for y'all right now.
Perfect, man. That's it.
That way you guys don't have to ask what's the email. You guys could just grab it from up there. We said, Drew, are you willing to do e-file? I know some realtors only want the hard copy. Well, this is what he was saying. If you get the A, well, go ahead, Jared. I'll let you.
Yeah, man. If
record.
you file the 1099-A digitally and you get your copy B, you're going to submit it to us so that we can file the OID. And yeah, we're willing to file that digitally to see if we can get the funds faster. And then we'll submit an 8888 along with a 1040V. We'll either overnight it, 2-day it to the Treasury so that they can match that up. I mean, and go ahead and get those funds submitted as fast as possible. We're looking at some other avenues to see how we can get the funds, whether it's take your Part B that you give us showing it's been approved, and we walk into a bank and see if they're willing to just, accept that and file the 1096 and the 1099 OID, or if I need to fill it out and give it to them. Honestly, everything that we do is promissory notes. So we walk in, I mean, we're the creditor, so they should be able to just cut us a check from that. So it's just a matter of walking into the right bank and getting with the right person that's willing to say, yes, we'll go ahead and do it. And cut that check.
So, I got a question for you up there. What about buying a house that isn't on the market?
Oh yeah, man, that's easier, honestly. Going straight to the homeowner, seeing if they're willing to sell, and if they are, then we're just going to make them an offer and see if they're willing to accept it. We do some wholesaling as well, so you have to make those calls. You gotta call individuals and see if they're willing to sell their property. That's how the wholesale game actually works for a lot of people, is they just call somebody that's in desperate need to get out of a house. You just got the right person, they'll be willing to sell. You just make them an offer. And then the big thing is anybody you make an offer on, you're going to have to give them about 60 days, because your funds, unless they come digitally and are pretty quick, and that's what we're trying to figure out. Everything we've heard has been about an average of 45 days. So you don't want to. What's that?
Go ahead.
Oh, you don't want to set up a close 30 days from now and the money not be there, and then you're having to extend closing, and then they get skeptical about the whole situation, back out of it. So we're always saying, if you're trying to pay them with a 1099-A and letting them file, or you're going to take it to title company to file, you're going to have to extend it to 60 days just to make sure all the funds are in. So
absolutely.
So if your parents own a house and you want to write it off, you're going to file it. Do the digital filing. Put you as the lender. Put the mortgage company as the borrower, and then find their email address. Put that account number for that house. Get the email address for the mortgage company. Get the mailing address. Send that digitally, and they'll get their Part B, and they know what they're supposed to do with it. And when they get it, you should be getting it too. Hey, you got Part B. Y'all need to file the 1099 OID so you can get your funds. And I've heard several people that have done that with cars and with other credit card bills or whatnot. They actually put themselves as the lender and then put the company as the borrower. And then when Part B comes in, they file and get their money.
And yes, it don't matter what state you in the U.S., he got you. He can make something happen for you, so you don't have to. Yeah,
definitely, whatever state. Like we said, we can actually do a consulting fee just for that state. Or consulting fee. Go in and negotiate the deal with another realtor that has the house listed. Set it all up through title, and then when the funds come in, we have a deal in place that pays the seller, pays us, pays closing costs, and then you get what's left. That's if you have the, if you have the money to put down for the earnest. You got to be able to negotiate to make sure you're not having to put anything down. That's the big thing.
Absolutely. And then now we got someone says, I want something built from the ground up. Do you have connections for something like that?
Yeah, we can talk to a builder. Explain it. Say, hey, look, you're this lady wants this house. She's got the property, or even if it's in a brand new neighborhood where they're doing a lot of builds, you go in and negotiate. Because a lot of times, once you pick that lot out, you're looking at 6 to 9 months. So they're going to get their funds. So you got time to get the money in.
Right.
So, the one thing with doing it as us as a trustee, you're able, once we have the funds in, and as long as you kind of pick out what you're looking for price wise, add your moving expenses, add your remodeling, add closing costs. You're going to add, we're going to do it for like a 5% holding fee to get all the funds. And that's 5% of the closing price. So, if you say 500,000, we're only going to do 5% of the 500,000 if that's what you close at, and then, but we have the funds, but then you'll be able to negotiate a faster close. Because if we have the money in and you go to somebody and you say, hey, I want to buy this house, I'm going to offer you 500,000 and we can close in 10 days. And they want to say verify funds, they call us, hey, yeah, we can close in 10 days. We're ready to go. Because we're the trustee in the situation and we can show the funds are there ready to go.
Absolutely. That's why he played a role. He brokered your deal, so you won't have to worry about the escrow and all that stuff. That's why he come into play to take care of all that. So that's something that you wouldn't have to worry about.
So
as far as that, and then somebody had that question for you.
We've got several right now in escrow. We actually have, I think, 5 that we've negotiated some deals, some closings on, got the houses under contract. And the ones that we have right now, we're waiting on title, are waiting money to come in. Title is going to be the title company is going to be the one who collects it. But as far as, that was because we found a title company that was willing to become the trustee in the situation. I have several people that have sent me their 1099As right now. And I've got them ready to go out to the Treasury to be able to get their funds. I've got one that we're going to do digitally that whenever we talked about this and I found out that you could do it digitally, she was guinea pig and said she would experiment with it and let's go with it and see how fast we can get the money in. And if it's faster, that's great. We're all in this together to try to figure out the best way to get the money and to use what's rightfully ours so that we can stop struggling like the elites. I mean, be in that better situation.
Absolutely.
To get the money.
Absolutely. Any more questions? Let me see what they said. He said, I'm ready to go today in Michigan and I have the amount ready accepted with e-file. So you will have to email him copy B.
Yes.
Print off copy B, email it to him, and then he'll respond to you, and then you can move forward.
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying, y'all? This is where instead of saying I got somebody that could do this or do that, I'll just bring him up here and let him tell you what he could do for y'all, and then y'all can make y'all decision on what you want to do yourselves.
Right. Hey, and then the other thing you want to make sure is you want to make sure that you're going to be using at least 80% of the money that comes in toward the house, or, if you're going to do remodeling or if you're going to do whatever, because that could actually get us, if you say you're going to buy a house for, you know, 500,000 and you write it for 2 or 3 million, and then IRS comes back, we could actually be liable for trust fraud. So the funds have got to be used accordingly, and at least 80%. That, you know, that includes the purchase price, the, you know, all the fees that go out with all that, and then whatever you're using, you just have to make sure you're spending at least 80% of that money toward the house, so that you're not getting in trouble for trust fraud or having the IRS come knocking on your door. Which, I mean, we know how crooked they are. In fact, that they really don't exist. They sit out in Puerto Rico somewhere and collect our funds, but so.
He said competent and effective. I am in Georgia. Can they work with us here? Absolutely, Pastor Pennington. They can work with you in Georgia. All you have to do is email them. It's right there on the screen. He said that's right. Yeah, don't be greedy, y'all. Don't, you know, because you don't have to be greedy when someone is going to help you get what you need to get. You know, so there's nothing to be greedy about. He said it's free money. Put it to where it's supposed to be accumulated. That's cool. I'll put that one up. He said, okay. Anybody else have any more questions? So if the house is 1 million, but we want to put furniture costs in the mix, will that be okay?
Yes. So if the house is 1 million, you're gonna put about 2% for closing cost. So you want to add about 20,000. You want to add your moving expenses. I would put some moving expenses. I would put some furniture. I would do like maybe somebody lived there that the bedrooms were a wild color. I'm not going to ask the seller to change anything. I'm just going to put some funds in there for somebody else to come in and paint the house the color I want it. If the countertops aren't what you want, but you like the layout of the house and you like exactly where it's at, you know, but you want lighter counters and you want marble countertops, add some funds in there to get that done, because all that goes to the house.
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
Can you set it up where I don't pay taxes on the house once I buy it?
So once you buy the house, you are and it's free and clear. There's, you know, you'll get the deed and the title. You're going to go out, depending on what state you're in. Texas is a little different. Everybody has to go through the Secretary of State to actually get a land patent. So if you're living in a state that the county does it, you're going to go to the county and you're going to ask them for the land register, and you're going to register the house, and you're going to get with the land register, and you're going to get a land patent filed on it, which is your highest form of title, a alloyable title. And then that will make sure you don't pay taxes. So
you don't have to worry about earnest money and all that, because all that could be taken care of out of the trust. That's why you got a trustee to broker your deal. So you don't have to worry about all that. Because I'm not really understanding what she's saying. She's like, what percentage is earnest money? What if the house is 1 million? Trying to understand if I could afford that big of a house. Like, I don't understand.
Most realtors are going to ask you for 1% if you're going to go through a realtor. So if you're going to go through with title, you're going to have to, as the trustee or somebody else as the trustee, then you're going to have to, and you get a contract in place, they're normally going to ask you for 1% of whatever the cost of the house is. But if you use us to become your trustee, once you have a contract in place, then we're going to be able to say, all right, hey, you know, you're going to call us up. Hey, we execute a contract on the house. Here's the title company. This is the price of the house. Then we know exactly how much earnest money we have to send. So we'll go ahead and submit the earnest money. We'll get that in there. And then we'll know when the closing date is. And then we'll actually send all of the funds to the closing agent, to the title company, and they will distribute them. So we'll actually show you that you have a zero balance with us. And then when the closing takes place and you sign all your paperwork, they will take their closing cost out. They will pay the seller their part. They will show us, they'll pay us the part that we have agreed upon with our contract, because we'll have an agreement in place and we'll submit that to the title company. And then whatever funds are left, you will get.
Absolutely. And what he's saying is, like, if you see a house you like and they can get it under contract, you file it, and once it is accepted, they can have the money come to them, and then, see what I'm saying, broker the deal. That way you don't have to set up escrow accounts and all that stuff. They're gonna broker the deal, so the money could come into the account that they set up, and when the money gets there, they'll just wire the money over to the title where it's supposed to go for the property that you're purchasing. It's real simple. It's very simple. You say they are trustees. And yes, first of all, you got to understand trust law and understand trust. And when someone is a trustee, so I've sent you an email too, Jared. Whenever you're free, email me back at your leisure.
We'll get to everybody. I promise you, man. It's just me and my wife. And trust me, we have been 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day on the phone. And every phone call is about 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, it's because it's explaining and it's going through stuff. And, we answer as many questions as we can on the phone call. And then, so we don't just get on there and make it brief and whatnot. We take our time with it and make sure, understand. And honestly, we all learn from each other. There might be something that you've picked up on that I don't know. And during that conversation, I mean, I didn't know about Midwest, had no idea, but got on the phone with Terry the other day and he told me about Midwest, and then he texted me and said, "Hey, he's live, man. Go get on there." So that's what brought us to Midwest last night. So yeah. And then fragrance, I saw a question that you asked up here. Oh, 2 realtors told me I had to show proof of funds. So with us being the trustee in the situation, you're going to have them call us, because now when your money's in and then you have the contract in place, if they ask for proof of funds, I got your proof of funds. I am the trustee in the trust, so I can verify your proof of funds. And then they can't do anything. I can send them a letter, or I can do whatever, and they can just take it or not. Like we've got the funds. I'll show them the account, and then there's nothing they can do. And honestly, that's an illegal thing for them to ask anyway. Fair Housing Act states that you can't discriminate against somebody no matter what, and proof of funds is a discrimination. So
absolutely.
So if anybody wants to read the Fair Housing Act when they have some time, go ahead. It's a lot of pages.
Absolutely.
They teach us realtors, don't discriminate against color, race, sex, blah, 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 but they don't go into all the detail. And if you sit down and really read it, discrimination is also asking for proof of funds. They don't need to know how much money you have to buy a house. If you get approved for a loan, you get approved for a loan. That's none of their business.
Said true. Beneficiary is supposed to show proof of funds. That's the trustee's job.
Absolutely.
Wow, this is great right here, y'all. This is perfect. Man, thank you, Drew. This is the best way I think that they can get it, and understand it, like this. Like, they're not asking me to ask you anything, they can ask you themselves. So that's anybody else out there. I'm scared to e-file, but hey, I've seen it work with someone, so I'm definitely interested in doing so. Now I gotta get this ball rolling. Absolutely. Can we use 1099A to buy a house? That's what we're talking about.
You can use it for whatever.
Right.
Hey, and I mean, if you want a boat, let me know. Well, I mean, all you're doing is you're sending me the 1099A.
You see what I'm saying?
And you're sending me, I mean, and we're filing it. So when we get the funds, if you put on the 1099A, you want a boat, then you're going to go pick up the boat whenever, pick it out when the funds are in and go pay for it. You go to the dealership for a car. Once we have the money in, you go to a dealership and you have the finance guy call me. I'll wire the money over to him. Once it's, we know exactly what it is. You sign for the car, bill of sale. I'll wire the money to them, and we're good to go there. They take care of it,
Yes, cars as well, guys. Cars as well, Pastor. So
car, boat, RV, what?
like, that's what he tried to tell y'all. That's why he said whatever. That's why you got to listen and pay attention, because he said it like, yes, like whatever you basically desire, as far as purchasing property, some type of property. They said, how about if they ask you your credit?
What's the credit score for? You got cash.
You got cash. Ain't no credit score. It's all cash.
And hey, let me tell you guys, the credit bureaus are fraud. Look at what they do to you. Defamation of character. Did you sign a wedding signature with them to show off all your information, to give out your info on you?
Yeah.
And we've already paid. If we've already paid for everything, then why is my credit score not 900? Why is my credit in the bottom when we've already paid for everything? I mean,
Absolutely.
Your trust pays for it, and then you pay for it, and then your trust pays for it again. So
basically, like how Chris Hauser was saying, now we got somebody to broker our deals, and that's Drew. Basically, that's what he said. You want an RV, you want a house, you want a car, you want a boat, do what you got to do on your end, and he'll do what he had to do on his end to make that happen for you.
Let's see. Could I buy an apartment complex? I mean,
not at first.
my wife said not at first. But yeah, personal to start with. They say no business, but personal to begin with. Buy you a duplex and house hack. Live in it. Collect rent from the other side.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's where everybody gotta learn, and they gotta realize that you have to do it in a way that you're not used to doing things, because that's how they've been doing it to you your whole life. They living good, and you trying to figure out how to get to the top, and your credit score is never going to get where you're trying to get to, because you're constantly borrowing and constantly, getting inquiries on there. You're trying to get this and trying to do that. But this is the way where you don't have to worry about that. There's no credit score involved. Anything. Like, it's a cash deal. It's all cash deal. And we got a trustee. So technically just, hey, like Chris Hauser was saying, you pick what you want. Hey, and get it accepted. If it's accepted, then the IRS is not going to accept it if they don't want to, if it's not right. So if it's accepted, then it's something that you did right. So, you can move forward with your situation. Is there a certain amount of these you can do without the government start to look at you?
I mean, I'm not keeping the funds.
Absolutely.
I'm just a trustee in the situation. I'm sending the funds to who they need to be. We're getting paid. So no, we can do how many ever deals we need to do. I mean, and we've got multiple businesses. So if I feel like one of the businesses that we put the EIN number on, maybe we might have 150 people going on that one. Maybe I'm gonna switch to the other one and start using it, so we're not getting hit from another side, or I'll put them in another business. Because everything that we had set up was to hold our real estate investments for different stages. like if we wanted to do a fix and flip, we were going to put it in one part. If we wanted to do a buy and hold, we were going to put it in another. If we were going to do a wholesale deal, we were going to put it in another. So we had it set up that way. So the businesses we've got set up to be able to hold how many ever deals we need to do. I saw another one up here that, hold on, where'd that go? Quantum, we just opened this up this week to be able to start getting people's funds. This was something my wife's been talking to people for the last week and a half, and she was got me involved in it on Monday, and it's been nonstop. But we had a guy say, if we had somebody to become the trustee, then we wouldn't have to worry about the earnest money. We wouldn't have to worry about all that because the funds would be in. So because we already have the businesses in place, we decided to go ahead and do it. And it was, and so we've got them coming in. I got 3 of them in today that I got to send off Monday. So it's all brand new as far as us doing it. But yeah, we've already got 5 houses. Like I said, we got 5 deals in place right now where the person's already paid their earnest money, and we've already submitted everything through with the title's EIN number for them to get paid. And one of them's our own personal deal. I mean, so if we can actually help people speed up the process and be the broker, because like I said, everybody doesn't have the earnest money to put down. And that's
absolutely
that's the hard thing.
Someone said, what she say? She says, will you help with finding property based in Texas?
So yeah, we're real estate agents in Texas. We'll go show you whatever in Texas. If we can't if it's not something that's actually close to us, I'll call an agent and ask for them to go do a walkthrough, video tour, whatever. That way you're able to see it. But yeah, we can help wherever in Texas. Definitely on that side. But as far as any other state, we can assist you. Actually, my wife called a real estate agent in Washington State the other day, and he's willing to go show a lady like 5 houses this weekend. So, and what we do is we do a referral. So if that agent showed the houses and they close on the house, then we'll give them a referral fee for helping us out in another state. So, but us being the trustee, we want to be able to manage all the funds and manage everything, and them not step in and mess up the situation.
Absolutely.
So all we're doing is having them go show the property, and then if we have to, we'll get them to write the contract, because each state's contract's just a little bit different. Mm-hmm. And then we'll pay them a referral fee, but we'll still manage everything as the trustee. And that way they're not getting involved in messing up everything.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's awesome, man. Like, that's awesome. I just want to thank you again for, you and your wife for, want to take the responsibility to do that for the people out here that's trying to acquire these things. We needed someone to, to pop up and step up and show out, so we could stop, having to come up with earnest money and proof of funds and all these other things that they asking for that they know we really don't need, because we already telling them that it's, it's coming out of trust. It's a cash deal. So like you said, we don't even need proof of funds for that.
Right. Well, and then it's the other thing. You go to a car dealership and you try to explain the situation, and they look at you like you're stupid as hell. Like what the hell are you talking about? So,
right.
So in this situation, you tell me, hey, this truck that I'm wanting fully loaded, is $90,000. That's, full package with all of the warranties and everything. And I'm going to say, okay, then you're going to write your 1099A for about 120, 130. And then you're going to submit it to me or submit it online. We're going to file it. When your money comes in, they're going to have the same truck. It doesn't matter what the VIN number is. I saw that on here. It doesn't matter what the VIN number is. You just put on there 2022 Toyota Tundra, Platinum Edition, and then, or whatever.
Right.
And when you get the funds in, then you're going to go in there and you're going to talk to the dealership, tell them this is what you want, and you're going to pay cash, but they're going to have to get it from the trustee. And they call us up from the finance department. We're going to wire them a check, wire them the funds so that they get the money's there and you sign for the car and walk out the door.
Absolutely. And it's the way we're supposed to be doing it, because that's why everybody asking for proof of funds, because they know if it's coming out of trust, then the trustee is really supposed to be negotiating the deal.
Right.
So when we go in as beneficiary / trustee, that's why they're like, well, if you're the beneficiary, then that's why a lot of them like is kicking back on it and not accepting it, because there's not a trustee in play.
Right.
It's all good. It's like, you can get it. Whatever it is, gas card, insurance, you want to get all the nicks and crannies. So when you fill out your 1099-A, you can fill it out the proper way.
Right.
It's
so
just
go ahead and add. I mean, like I said, if it's a $90,000 car, $100,000 car, go ahead and add what it's going to cost you for the insurance for the year. Go ahead and, what it's going to be to,
some was asking about gas cards. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean, I know I heard Chris say something about when they got their set up, they were going to get a $400 gas card or something like that. I mean, you'll have that extra cash. And honestly, I don't know, here in Texas, some of these places you go pay cash for gas, it's cheaper than if you put it on a gas card or credit card.
Absolutely.
I mean, so if you got cash in your pocket, I'd rather go pay cash for it. Save a little extra.
Absolutely.
So, and yeah, on the, Terry, where you have some money in your pocket, just like we said, as long as 80% of the funds are going toward the car, buy your car wash package. Go ahead, and that way you can get the car detailed once a week so that you keep it clean. And hey, that's going toward the car. That's maintenance. I know with Toyota, you can go ahead and buy the oil package thing, 100,000 miles. They'll change your oil for free every 3,000 miles or 5,000 miles.
Absolutely. You want to get everything. You want to get the power train warranty for the transmission. You want everything up under the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, tire rotation, brakes. You don't want to have to do nothing but pull in and drop it off to them. And when you get back in, it's just like it was when you bought it.
That's right.
Absolutely. Man, it's awesome.
So, Crystal, what are you needing help with on the e-file part?
A lot of them don't understand how to e-file. So like, you can email me at mbtmidwest@gmail.com. I'll walk you through that much, because they're you can't call them and ask them that. They ready to go. So you need to know what you're doing before you talk to Drew. So I'll get them going and have them ready. So when they talk to you, yeah, absolutely. I said, I'm the lender and the borrower is the car dealership after it's accepted in.
I mean, in that situation, if you're doing it with a car dealership, the Treasury's the lender. You're the borrower, because they're not getting the Part B to they've got to take your Part B and file it with an OID and a 1096 to get the funds. So the Treasury is going to be the lender in both the OID and the 1099-A. But now, if you were paying off something, then you are the lender, and the company that has the the mortgage or the credit card or whatever, they're the borrower because they're going to get the Part B to file.
Right.
So that way they file the Part B. They know because it's on them anyway.
Right, because they got to get their check.
Right.
Absolutely. Right. That's how I did mine. Because I'm actually a secured party creditor as well. I have a bond lost in the treasury, so I use myself as a lender on some little bills I had, and they got accepted. And the company actually sent me back copy B.
Okay.
And it came off my credit report, so I was good.
Nice. So yeah, I haven't gone down the route of the secured party creditor because honestly, we're all secured party creditors. But if you just want to make
creditors, yeah,
we're all the secured party.
Yeah, we're all the creditors, absolutely.
So
that's why everything is prepaid.
That's right. So you just have to know how to deal with it.
If married, can the wife use her 1099A and the husband use their 1099A for two different homes in different states?
Yeah, why not? It's your trust is not joined just because you're married. You got separate trusts.
So how old do you have to be to initiate this 1099A? Is it 21 years?
18, I believe. I think you have to wait for age of like 18 is your, at 18, an 18-year-old, if they want to, they can walk in there and ask for their own ledger off ledger balance. So at 18, they're allowed to do this. So 18 and 65 are the only two times you can actually find out what your balance is in the ledger if they give it to you. So you're going to have to just, you have to do that. But those are the only two times in your life that you can ask. But why mess with it? You don't need to cash it out. Just use it. So if I'm 18, I'm just gonna use it and let it keep building up. I don't want to cash it out.
The Social Security Administration, that's what he's talking about. But like you said, if you cash it out and you don't have the right trust set up, they're gonna take the shit right back from you.
Right.
So it don't matter. See, that's why a lot of people is set up as secured party creditors and they have a trust set up because they want to cash out their estate, they trust, you know what I'm saying, and put it into their own trust where they can have full access and manage it.
Right.
But yeah, right. Absolutely. He said you have to email him. Far as once you making a purchase at a home is 5% of whatever the purchase price is, the closing price is. So that's what that is.
We'll submit an agreement. And it'll be, like I said, if we've talked on the phone and you told me it was going to be, $1 million and then you turn around and you buy it for 800,000, it's only going to be 5% of that 800,000. The rest of it is going to go in your pocket to do whatever you need to do.
Because like if you buy $1 million house, you're going to have to be able to take care of that property.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what, like, how I don't think just, buying a house inside, but what about the outside as well? Especially if you got like trees in a big yard, hedges, bushes.
You're going to have to have equipment to help.
Right. So you have to think about when you purchasing this home, you got to think about the help that's going to be need to take care of this home while you living here. You see what I'm saying? And that's why that 1099, that acquisition part of that 1099A is beautiful, because it didn't say that the only thing it says that it can't go over 100 million. That's what it says.
Okay.
So
yeah, I didn't know exactly how much the limit was.
Yeah, the 1040V, when you read the instructions on the 1040V, it tells you exactly.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I did see that. I was just thinking maybe they couldn't do it. Oh, okay, 100 million at one time.
In one transaction. Absolutely. Yeah. They said you have to break it down. That's why break it down into 3 transactions. So that's why they said don't separate that sheet, because if it's over 100 million, then you have to break it down in those 3 transactions.
Yeah, absolutely. Those things are scannable. They scan them if it's a freaking check size, or they can scan it if it's a sheet size. I feel like the whole 3 on a sheet and you wasting 2 other ones, that's so they can just, control
Double
the
dip.
situation.
They can dip.
Yep. That gives them the right to add some stuff to it, and you don't really know. So
Absolutely. Man, this is awesome. I'm stuck. I'm lost. I'm glad that Terry introduced you to me, introduced me to you,
oh yeah,
to my
man.
life, and because this right here just changed everybody life in here that come to this channel. It's been a lot of people in and out because they know they probably downloaded the video already, so they already got it. Then you'll be getting tons of emails, and then I'm not taking it down. So
well, I'm
people
saying, man, we've already been blown up. And like I said, guys, we're trying to help everybody that we've already made commitments to this past week. We're having to negotiate some deals on some houses and trying to get some stuff that we've already been working on this week with other people, sending out contracts to get them, answering questions with any of them to make sure they fill out stuff right. But we will get with you. I mean, it's just the two of us. And so, we still got to have time to do our stuff as well as we're trying to work on some other things that, with these conditional acceptance and accept for value. And we've been going after the power company for the last couple of months and seeing how that's going to work. See if we can make sure that everything's paid with just the coupon, just the voucher. I mean, not only are they taking the money when we pay them, but they also are sending it in and getting paid again. So, I don't want to give them any more money. So it's just been, the more stuff that we learn, the more things we're trying to implement and see what happens. And then once we get something that's going, we're putting it out there. We're not, it's for everybody.
Absolutely.
So I've been trying to do it with a car trying to do the accept for value and conditional accept. So first we did it with a promissory note, and they told us, that's not a form of payment. They didn't send me the promissory note back. So then I did a conditional acceptance with the accept for value. And actually, no, we did a 1099-C with a conditional acceptance. And an office administrative assistant sent me a letter back telling me I've been listening to some YouTuber or whatnot. So now she's done put herself into the middle of the lien situation because of mail fraud. She wasn't supposed to respond, and nobody answers the questions that have been asked so we're about to make a couple of people's lives a living hell just basically by leaning them for doing the things that they shouldn't be doing. They've got to, that stuff needs to be left to the CEO, and they need to learn that this stuff is real. And so, so we're doing a whole lot of stuff, not just the 1099-A. We're trying to get into all of it so we can all have a way to have a process. And I feel like everybody that puts things out talks in circles sometimes. And before you know it, they give you all the pointers, but you don't have the exact process to make it work for you. So that's
it come to you, Lyle Smith. After everything is purchased and paid for, all the fees and everything, the leftover balance comes to you.
Yes, it does. And what'll happen is so when you get a traditional mortgage and you go to title company, or when you go to closing, title distributes the funds. So, if the loan has closing cost in there, they take their closing cost out. If for some reason you saw that there was some things wrong with the roof, maybe there was a wall that was kind of paint was messed up or whatever, then you go back to the seller during that inspection time and all that. You go back to the seller and you say, hey, this is all needs to be fixed. Air conditioner's messed up. and they come back and they say, well, we don't want to fix it, but we'll credit you the money. We'll credit you 10,000 or we'll credit you 15,000. So instead of redoing the loan, what'll happen is when you go to close, the lender will send the funds to the closing company and they will issue the seller their check and you will get the $15,000 credit. So it's going to basically be the same way. We're going to zero out the account that we have by sending all the funds to the title company or whoever you're closing with. If it's a escrow attorney or if it's a, or whatever, then we're going to send those funds to them. They will cut the checks to everybody. That way we're not keeping the money that we agreed on and somebody come back and say, oh no, that's not what I agreed on. We want everything to be through paper trails, and we want that way the buyer gets, when it's all broke down at the end of the day after signing the closing papers, they know exactly where all the funds went to.
Absolutely. He said, mortgage, I don't want a mortgage because my house is meant for the living, not the dead. I'm alive. Should we get a title company or escrow company before working with you, Drew?
No, I wouldn't. We're going to be your escrow company. I mean, we're going to be your trustee in the situation. We're going to hold the funds. So why go get a title company? Now, if you want to go do it, go ahead and, find a house. We negotiate a deal and we find a title company that's willing to accept the trustee, or accept the 1099A, then that will work. But, you got to go in there and really, a lot of times you don't want to over explain. You just want to say funds are coming from a trust. I'm the beneficiary. I got to have a trustee in the situation. Would you be willing to be the trustee? And if they are, great. Then you have the title company as your trustee. But when you start putting Department of Treasury on there and all that stuff, they might decide to back out of the situation. So we're in the position that we can actually handle all of it. The funds come to us. We'll have it labeled with whatever account number that you create on the bottom of the 1099A. If you file it electronically, they create you one. I'll file the 1099 OID with the account number that you create. When the money comes in, I just say, hey, I've got all your funds are in and we're ready to go. And then we pay the title company. We send all the money to title. Then that way you don't have to worry about any of it. And then you don't have to worry about verifying funds. If somebody comes to you and says verify funds, hey, you call my trustee. They're the ones handling it. I can't do it.
Absolutely.
So hold on, what's that? So if the money comes back to me, where'd that go? So if the money comes back to us, won't that make us pseudo trust? No, we're actually paying out the funds to the title company, and then they're distributing it. You're not, and it's the majority of it's going to the house anyway. So no, you're not a pseudo trust. You're still the beneficiary in the situation. We're the trustees.
Absolutely. Because they're initiating the deal, they're handling, they're brokering the deal. So whatever left over, the trustee will make sure that comes to you. It's not like you're going to get it. No, he's going to make sure that comes to you. So like you said, you beneficiary. You benefit from the situation. I toured at home, so would I have to wait until your availability?
Was that? Where'd that one go?
Yeah.
Oh, I toured at home, so would I have to wait until your availability? I mean, I know the market's crazy. I know houses are flying off the market left and right. I know it's not just in Texas. We've been hearing it in all states. Like people are, put them on the market and they disappear. If you've got earnest money ready to go, then we can negotiate the deal. That's, and go ahead and get it under contract and just try to negotiate a 60-day close. And then that way, when the funds come in, we're ready to, and we can still go ahead and be the trustee. That way we're not negotiating with title as much. We'll be the trustee. So when the funds come, we'll just pay it. Because we're actually, my wife and I have been trying to research even more to try to figure out how we can get these funds even faster. Lending companies get them. So there's got to be another way to be able to use the 1099A and OID and 1096 together and get the funds. So I mean, I understand that, everybody, you're picking out houses and, oh, I really want this house, but you got to understand that a lot of sellers don't want to wait 60 days. A lot of sellers want to close fast, and a lot of agents are going to push for 1% of that purchase price for you to put down. So I mean, if you've got the funds to walk in there and put that 1% down, then we can go ahead and negotiate a deal with the agent, and then all you need to do is, once it's under contract, make sure you get your 1099A and all to us as quick as possible, and we get everything submitted to the Treasury and see if we can get the funds within 60 days. And the only reason I'm saying 60 days, because you don't want to put a close date at 30 and then the money not be here, and you have to push the close date. And then if you have to push it too much, the seller is going to walk out and they're going to keep your earnest money. You're going to lose it. So if you have to put $10,000 down on a house and they decide that, it's taking too long for you to get the money and they walk away, you lose $10,000.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. My wife just said, hey, any offer that you decide to do on a house, if you decide to go with another real estate agent and you decide to get a house, and you need to sign that in your straw man, because if they come back to you, then you can tell them the trust is who you can sue. You can't sue me, but you can sue the trust.
Right.
Let them go after the trust. Don't, make sure if the funds don't come or whatnot, everything we do, we need to go ahead and do in our straw man. Then when we sign the contract at closing, you can sign it in your beneficiary signature.
Mm-hmm. It make a lot of sense.
So yeah, because you don't want them coming after you, which, I mean, make them go after the trust. Put it in your trust name.
Tell them 60 days to get the earnest money, but won't you rather get all the money at once?
So earnest money is 3 days. Nobody's going to give you 60 days to come up with $10,000 to put down. Earnest money is normally 3 days. Sometimes you can negotiate 5. 60 days is the closing, like for the final payment. Everything has to be in within 60 days. That's what you're trying to do. But as far as, earnest money, they're going to want that earnest money wired within 3 days. Sometimes you can do 5 days. And if you don't wire the earnest money, they cancel the contract and they can come after you for performance issues. You did not hold up your end of the bargain and didn't cancel in the 3 days. You have 3 days to back out of the contract. Contract law, you got 72 hours. So if you get a house under contract and you don't have the earnest money, you need to cancel it within that 72 hours, or they can come after you for that earnest money.
I hope you guys paying attention, because you're giving y'all the sauce.
Yeah, beneficiary's first name, middle, colon, last name. All right. So, yep, that's exactly right. So, yeah, Kay, we're doing, anytime we file something, we're going to go ahead and submit. We're going to have the 1199A on file anyway with our business EIN. But I'm also going to submit the 8888 just to make sure, see what comes faster. So,
See now, Drew, what my attorney did on my second deal, he got the escrow company to set up the account, but not open the account, just to create the account number. So when we file and it get accepted and they file the B, when the money hit, then they'll open the account, drop the money into the account, and then we'll move forward with the deal.
right. Okay. Well, the way we did ours was we just put the address both on the 1099A and the 1099 OID because the contract's in place. You don't have to open up an account with the title company.
Absolutely.
So they know that, that way the 1099A and the 1099 OID match up because now you actually have the physical address since we have it under contract. Right. But if you don't have it under contract and you don't have the physical address and you just put in the description that you're buying real property, because that's what it is, then you're going to create you an account number. If you do it online, the account number's there. It makes an account number. And then I'll take that account number and put it on the OID.
Okay.
But if you do it a handwritten one to me, then I'm going to take the account number that you generate, that you make up yourself, and then I'm going to put that on the OID so that they match up. And then that way, and then we're going to log that in a spreadsheet. So when your funds come in, that's how we're going to label it. Just, because it's going to come in our business because that's who it's being paid to.
Right.
Okay. But it's going to have your account number to link it to to what the funds were because you generated account numbers. So then I'm going to go in and put that as a series into our business. It'll have, if I had Midwest stuff and it was Midwest, 785, then I'm going to put Midwest 785 on the thing, and I'm going to have, and that's how I'm going to set it up in our series. And then when the funds hit, then you'll be able to see that the money's there because I'm going to show you, hey, your money's here, and I'm going to send you a printout. Your funds are here. Now let's go get you a house, or let's go pick out that car. And then as soon as you get the contract executed, then I'll send money to Ernest. I'll send the Ernest money. And then a couple of days before closing, just like any other lender would do, because that's basically what we would be at that point, as the trustee, we're sending all the funds to the closing agent so that when you go in on the date of your close, you sign your paperwork and they already know where the money goes. They actually know how much the seller gets. They know how much they're supposed to take out for closing. They'll have an agreement between you and us to be able to cut the amount that we're supposed to get. And then you will have a check ready that's already cut for you to take. So as soon as you sign the paperwork, they'll hand you the check and you'll be on your way out the door, keys to a house and a check to go to make modifications, buy your lawnmower, whatever you need to do, paint, pay for the insurance for the first year if you need to.
Absolutely. Homeowners insurance. You got to make sure you got insurance, y'all.
Yep.
So that's why you got to that's why you got to understand buying a home is different from when you renting an apartment or a house from someone else, because you don't know that they pay the water bill and they, and they have to have insurance and they have to have all this extra stuff. So when you filling out that check, you got to make sure all that is covered.
Yes. Yep.
You want to make sure all that is covered. That way you don't really have to come out of pocket for anything. The 1099A covered everything that you need for that year to take care of that house. And after that year, you should be able to be good, or be able to bust some moves, to generate some funds. It's real simple.
I mean, because honestly, when you get a traditional loan and they figure all the payment situation out, they put escrow in there. So they add escrow to the payment. So what that does is when you make a payment every month, they take a little bit out to put in escrow to make sure your insurance is paid or your taxes are paid. So you're not going to have that on a cash deal. You're going to have to pay it monthly. So you might as well go ahead and tell your insurance agent, hey, I'm going to pay you up front. Go ahead and give me a deal for what the whole year cost is going to be whenever I close on this house. And then once you receive the title and the deed to the house, you're going to go and file it with the land recorder's office. And you're going to have somebody come out and do a survey with meets and bounds, and you're going to get your land patent or your alloidal title so that you don't have to pay taxes on it after that.
Absolutely.
So,
that's the goal.
So, when you close, it depends on what time of year you close. You might have to, in closing, they might have taxes that you have to pay, but you can file and get them back later. I wouldn't worry about it's coming out of the trust. But then once you get the deed in your hand, then go file the alloidal title or the land patent. And then that way you don't have to worry about paying off any other.
Absolutely.
Any more taxes. So
yeah.
Can I pay off my house and car? Yeah, you'll have to do it. You'll have to go in and fill out the 1099A as you are the lender and they are the borrower. That way they get the money to pay it off. And then you're going to do two separate ones, and you're going to go in and put in how much ever your house is right now, what the payoff is. And you're going to submit that 1099A, and when they get their actual part B, they're going to submit what they have to pay off the loan for both of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll get to all the emails that we've been sent, guys. I promise. Hey, here's my wife, Tara, guys.
I should have
sent her a link, and she could have been in. She could have gave her little view on what's going on.
Hey, she's the brains to all this. Without her, I wouldn't know half the stuff.
Absolutely.
How do you set off child support? You can file 1099A. You can do it that way if you want to file it. If you want to actually pay the person, I mean, that's up to you. You can fight it other ways. I'll just give you a personal testimony. Back in November, I went to child support court. Didn't really get to talk to nobody. My attorney didn't do anything she was supposed to do, because come to find out, she represents the queen and she wasn't there to help me anyway. But end up walking out of there with a $41,000 arrears judgment placed on me. So that's where we got started down this rabbit hole, guys, on this whole thing on paying bills off and doing all this. So my wife found some stuff, started looking into different laws, different things like that. So we submitted documents, legal documents, court paper, and the arrears disappeared. It fell off my credit. $41,000 just vanished. No more child support being paid. So you have to know how to talk. You have to know how to fight it, but you have to fight it as the living person. You can't fight it in their system at all. So how do you get the alloidal title? You're going to have to find a land recorder office in your county.
You got to have a survey.
Well, you got to get the survey, and then you have to record it with the land recorder. If you're in Texas, you have to go through the state, the Secretary of State, to get all that. And then once you get it and get the survey and all done, then you'll submit it and file it, and then they'll publicly record it so that you have the Lloydal title. It has to be a public recording. And then nobody can put a lien on you. Nobody can take your land. You can put it into a pure trust, which will protect you forever as well. You can, your kids, like generations from now, that land's protected. Unless you sell it and somebody else puts a title, land patent on it and claims it. So, but as long as they don't ever claim it, even if you were to sell it and they don't ever claim it, somebody that's in your family could come down 100 years from now and say, hey, that belonged to me. You didn't put a land patent on, I'm taking it back. So there's all kinds of little things, that the land patent protects you from. But yeah, after you close, my wife says that we can walk you through all that. We can help y'all with that.
Absolutely. And then I also sent her a link if she wanted to jump in and say something or whatever the case may be.
She says she'll just pop in here and there.
It's all good.
Before we go purchase a home. Yes, Kay, that's right. And we'll send you an agreement so that you know exactly, what our fee is, or it's going to be 5% of the purchase price. Like I said, like I told you, if you sent me a thing for 1.5 million, you said you were going to do $1 million house, you only did 800,000. It's going to be 5% of that. So it's going to be 5% of your purchase price for us. But we will make sure all of your money's in before you go out and look for a house. I mean, I don't want anybody to go out there and get a house under contract and lose it because you don't have the earnest money to put down.
Absolutely.
Or you're sitting there at 45 days and the funds have not come in. So, let's just, I feel like the best way to do it is we'll be the trustee in the situation. We'll get the funds, have everything ready to go. And then that way you can walk in and make a cash offer and have a fast close and everything goes smooth from that point. I mean,
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, if you have cash, like we do a lot of wholesaling. We have a lot of investors that we deal with. And so if we get a house under contract, we normally only have it under contract for about 20 days because we have an investor that's ready to buy it and they're going to close on it within 10 because they got the cash in their pocket. So when you have cash in your pocket, it speaks volumes. I mean, and we'll have the cash in the pocket because they'll look at, if they say, hey, do you have, your proof of funds? Show me you got the cash. Well, here, call my trustee. He's going to take care of it. He's going to show you what we got. So hey, babe, come answer this question right here. So when paying off a car note on the 1099A, myself as lender, car company as borrower, do we check the box that the borrower is responsible?
You don't have to worry about checking the box.
So on that situation, because the company is actually getting the Part B and they're getting the check. I mean, they're responsible. They're paying it back. Now, if you did it the other way, if you put the treasury there and you're the borrower, and you're submitting it to a company, then that you're paying off debt, then yes, you're responsible for paying off the debt. So you would check that because you're the borrower. But you're not going to check that on any of the situations with us because we're basically the lending company once your funds come in and you're not paying us back. So you're getting your money, whatever it is, if it's 2 million and 1 million, 10 million, you're getting your funds and it's coming to our account. We're paying everything and you're not having to pay us back principal plus interest for the next 30 years.
Absolutely.
So are you guys lending? No, we're not lending the earnest money. So the earnest money will come from the funds that you send. We're not lending anything that you would have to pay back. So just like I said, if you need earnest money in there, but if you do a $1 million house and you write the 1099-A for 1.5, that $1 million purchase, the earnest money's in that, because we're just taking 10% and sending it to taking 1% and sending it over to the title company, which is $10,000. So now you got, $990,000 left to pay when it comes to close, and we'll have that in there. So it's better to, we're only doing it whenever the funds are in.
Absolutely.
Because if you guys are like me and want $3, $4, $5 million houses, I ain't got that kind of money to be lending right now for the earnest money. So
you got a question right here. Can you speak on going through a home builder instead of move-in ready home with 1099-A process?
Yeah, gonna be the same thing. We're just gonna negotiate with the builder. And if you want to do it through us, then we're still the trustee. Then when you're ready to your funds come in, then you're just gonna go over there and say, hey, I want that house that's being built, and do it that way. Or if you want to do it yourself and negotiate, the builder will be the one to take the 1099-A. So you're going to fill out the 1099-A and with your information, the builder would file the OID, the 1096, the 1040V. And then when they get paid, by the time, then you'll be able to move into the house. So one of two ways there, that, you just got to see if you find a builder that's willing to take the 1099-A.
Absolutely.
So, let's see. Which site do you prefer or what is the best site for e-file? I don't even remember the name of it.
I use 1099 online. 1099.
We've used 1099 online, but if I'm going to file the OID, then
you got to use. You have to use the other one if you.
Yeah, I got it written down. 1099 online, you can file it. And even if I'm filing the OID,
1099tax.com.
1099tax.
You can file the OID.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 1099tax.com or 1099 online, you can use both of those to file your 1099-A electronically.
Because I wouldn't have to file the OID if I file the A and it gets accepted. I'm just sending the B to you, and then you will file the OID.
That's right.
What I'm saying? That's what people got to understand, because they thinking like they got to file all the forms.
Nope.
But they don't.
No, that's another thing, guys. If you guys have, I know Midwest and I talked about it this morning, but if you've got extra OIDs and 96s, if you can send them to me, that's great, because we're the ones that are having to file it. If we're doing it the paper route, because we got a few of them in. We only got one 1099-A. We got a couple of 1096s, and we're the main ones having to file those. You guys don't have to worry about filing any of those.
Absolutely.
So, we'll once we talk or whatnot, and you decide if you want to send us anything to do business, then you can just you'll have my mailing address and everything to go with it too. They will work for rent, but you're going to have to get the landlord to accept that. The best way you're going to be able to do that is same way my wife and I were talking about earlier. We're going to file something, and get some money back for each one of our kids and go ahead and pay their rent for the year. But you're going to have to go ahead and get the cash so that you can pay them. I don't know how many landlords are going to wait 45, 60 days for their cash to come in to pay the rent. You know, you'd have to negotiate that with the landlord.
Absolutely.
Okay. Seller wants proof of funds. It's $2.5 million. I've already e-filed 1099A, so I have an account provided by 1099 online. Yeah, I mean, we can get together and you can use us, you know, become the trustee in the situation, and then we'll file your 1099 OID and the 1096. Get the money, but did you negotiate a long close time? Seller wants the proof of funds. We're the trustee in the situation. If you use us, we'll generate the proof of funds. Don't worry about that. So
when you do the e-file, do you put
the
yeah,
the individual part? Do you put your information there? So your information is going to be in the if you're sending it to us, the treasury is going to go as the lender, and the borrower is going to be you. And then you're going to put today's date or whatever date you decide to do the file. You're going to put in number 2, you're going to add all of your expenses and all in. So if you say 2 million is what you're buying the house for, you're gonna put 2.5, 2.7 million in that number 2. Number 4 is going to be your fair market value. That's where you're going to put what the house cost is, and then you're going to zero in all the other spots because you're not paying taxes and you're not doing all that, and then you're going to submit it. So but yeah, the treasury is the lender, you are the borrower. If you're going to use it to pay off a bill, the lender is you, and the borrower is the company that you're wanting to pay the bill off with. So let's see. How do we pay a bill, energy, or credit? Just the way I explained it, Crystal. You're going to be the lender. The company you're wanting to pay off is going to be the borrower, and then when they get the copy B of the 1099A, then they know what they're supposed to do to collect their funds. So. Yeah, we've got a few OIDs, 96 and 1040Vs, so we can do some things already. But if you've got extra, send them. And yeah, and if you've got the 1099A, as we get to you and talk to you, we're ready to, we'll give you all the information that you need so you can mail us the stuff, we set up a contract and get going. Yeah, and if you have any, I mean, and y'all are ready to go, whenever we talk to you, we'll show you how. Yeah, brother, that's right. I need definitely.
I'm gonna send you all these, and I got some. I got some 96s as well. These OIDs, but I got a whole bunch of 96s. They'll be in the mail Monday for sure. Coming straight.
Okay, great, man. Definitely can use them. But yeah, if you have what was that, sir? Oh, yeah, if you're gonna mail them to us, when we talk to you, we'll give you the way to mail out everything for free. So we'll send you a picture of how you need to fill out your envelope. And in that way, you can just slap the certified sticker on there and drop it off in a mailbox, and they'll send it to us for free. Hey, I think the email address is still pinned up there somewhere, Crystal. I mean, can the 1099A be used to acquire property internationally? I mean, you get the funds in, go buy it. You know, you tell me how much you're going to spend, and once the money comes in and we secure a deal on a piece of property internationally, then we'll just find a title company internationally and submit all the money to them as soon as we have a contract executed. But I would go ahead and have the funds in so that you can be ready to do that. You are the secured party creditor. You don't have to file everything to be the secured party creditor. You're always the secured party creditor. I know that Midwest said that he's got his and put the bond on there, but you're the secured party creditor. That's why that if they give you a promissory note to go get the funds, you're the creditor. You're the lender. You're going to walk to the counter. You're going to give that promissory note to the lady at the counter. They're going to cut you a check, and then you're going to turn around and use it to pay for your stuff, your loan, whatever. But you are the creditor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, people are getting the 1099As in the mail. It's just slow.
Yes.
I've been hearing that. And actually, we had a lady tell us the other day that she has a friend in Atlanta that walked to the IRS building right down the street from her. And they gave her a box of them. If you live close to the IRS and you got a building that's next to you that's not closed down, go in there and see if they got them. I mean, I think they have them. They just slowly putting them out because of all those people that have started to wake up to this mess. They don't want everybody to know. If everybody knew, they'd be in a world of hurt.
Absolutely. Not yet.
Let's see. Do we do an e-file or paper file? I mean, you can do either one. If you want to e-file, and then when you get your Part B, you're going to send it to me, and then I'm going to do what I need to do to get the funds. So,
I got you. I got plenty 1096s for you as well.
All right.
I got them. I got you. All this going in the mail. Money.
Great, man. Great. What I recommend you do, find a property that you like that gives you the price range that you want to be in.
Absolutely.
And then, I mean, honestly, some of these couple $1 million homes or more, they're going to be sitting for a little longer than your regular $400,000 or $500,000 house. So, if you find one that's, 2.2 million, and you say, hey, this is the one I really would want to go with, and you're going to write your 1099A out for like 2.7 to make sure you cover all your costs. You're going to file it electronically, or you're going to send it to us. We're going to file everything. You kind of know where your price range is. If that house disappears, you're going to find another one that's at that same price or maybe a little less. And then, that might not have been what God had in store for you. You might have had another house that was ready to go. So, but yeah, go ahead and find that property, find that price point that you really are looking at, so that you know how to write this 1099A and get your amounts in there. And then, that way you can send it off or file it, and then we'll take care of what needs to be done so we can get the funds. As far as the EIN for the state, that has to be done before using the 1099A. The EIN for the estate. I mean, your 1099A is going to have your social, and then it's going to have the Treasury's EIN number.
That was a question directed to a status correction because I do credit status correction.
Okay.
As long as you
Okay.
have a social security number and the birth certificate, you can use the 1099A. And
Yeah.
you're 18 years of age, he said, the age of majority. What up, though?
So, yep, do the same for the car. Like I said, if you're gonna find a car that $100,000 going to be with all the stuff in it, you're going to write it for about 150, 140, 150,000. That way you cover your insurance, cover your gas for some time, and then you're going to send that to us. We'll have the agreement in place on what we're going to get. And when you go in to purchase your car, you're basically going to have the finance officer or finance manager call us, and we're going to tell them, yes, we got the funds. We're going to send it to you, and you go ahead and sign the paperwork. To hand you the key, and they'll get the funds. So. Only if you're going to use it to pay off a bill and you're going to have the company as the borrower. I mean, you can do it with the treasury as the lender, you're as the borrower, and then what you'll have to do is get the company that you're having the money sent to actually fill out the OID. But if they are already in that spot, they're going to fill it out. They'll know what to do. So there's two different ways you can do it. If you want the company to go after the money to be able to do it, then they'll do it that way. If you're wanting to have the treasury as the lender and the funds come like to us as the trustee, then you're going to put your name as the lender, the treasury your name as the treasury as the lender and your name as the borrower. And then we're going to send the OID as the trustee. But I've talked to several people that have actually used it and put their name as the lender, company as the borrower, and their car got paid off or their credit card got paid off, because once that OID goes to the company, the loan company, they know what they're supposed to do with it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Midwest said the same thing. That's how he's done it and paid off some stuff. But if you're trying to get the funds so that we have the money to be able to, for you to purchase a house, then or a car, then you're going to be the borrower, and the treasury is going to be the lender. So. Uh, 1099A, 1099 OID, 1096. So yeah, Regina, if you're close to it, most people are having a hard time getting the 1099As. I mean, if you can go into an IRS building and ask them if they got any, and they give you some, I mean, everybody will actually, you could actually send them off to people to help them out. Crystal, I don't have the IRS's EIN number. I have the Treasury's EIN number where I can actually, when you need help to fill out the thing, I can, we can send you a snapshot of it so you know how to fill things out. So, Dirty Woods one. Hey, can you pay the bill with the coupon? We're battling that right now. That except for value, we're in the battle for that, man. We're trying to get that to work. They say you can. You just have to get somebody that really. I think you got to get past the gatekeepers. I don't think the CEOs are actually opening the mail. I think the gatekeeper is, and they're the ones that are blocking stuff from being done. So I think that once we start leaning some of these companies that haven't paid our stuff off with the coupon, then they'll start paying it off.
To pay off a mortgage, must you notify the mortgage company first before submitting online?
No, I wouldn't. Just go pay it off.
Okay.
Get your payoff though. Sometimes you can ask for a 10-day. You might want to see what the payoff's going to be for 30 days.
He said, I already have an acceptance 1099A for a new car with the dealership as the borrower. Can I still use you guys as trustee, or should I correct it?
I would correct it. I would just correct. Is the dealership willing to file their stuff to get the forms? Or to get the payment? If they're not, then if you want to use us, then I would correct it.
If you want to call back again.
So. Hey, Kay, when you get the funds in, can you wire it into our account? No, that's trust fraud. You can't. The beneficiary is not allowed to do anything with the funds, only after everything's paid for.
Absolutely. That's
left. That would get us both in some serious trouble.
Yep, that goes back to that question that was asked earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't do that at all.
So, yeah, we know how to conditionally accept. Our conditional acceptance gets longer and longer, gets more and more meat to it. So, we've sent out some that just got received this week. See how they go. If I don't hear back from them Monday or Tuesday like it's supposed to be done, then they'll be getting a lien sent their way. So
he said a little stuck on the e-file. It asks if a business or individual. So if you file yourself as the lender, then you will be an individual because you have to put your social. So you have to put individual. Right. That's how I have to go. Because if you put business, then when you click on the EIN, it's gonna give you a EIN format versus a SSN format. So yeah, right. Absolutely. You want to do individual when you use yourself as the lender. Absolutely.
Has anyone used e-file method been paid yet? Yeah, I've had several people I talked to that actually used it and had things paid off. So like I said, guys, we just opened up our business.
I had someone pay off. They actually got the title to his car a few weeks ago. I had e-filed something for him, and his note got taken care of, and they sent him a letter saying, "Congratulations, you paid off your 2015 Nissan Altima." And a few weeks later, he got his title in the mail.
Nice. How long is that taking, Midwest? Do you know?
To be honest, it took about he got a response back from them in like 5 weeks, as far as it being paid off, and then a total will probably maybe like about 10 weeks.
Okay.
To having the title in his hand.
Okay. Yeah, normally when you mail off for a title, you don't get it that fast. But just wondering how long it was taking to get the letter stating that it's been paid off.
That was like 5 weeks.
Okay. So, you're looking 5 weeks, 35 days. That's about, 35 to 45 days is what they're saying average on getting paid. And then, and that's why we're saying if you're looking at doing it and you're wanting to go and use a title company as a trustee or something like that, you need to do 60 days, because at day 45, if the funds aren't in, seller can walk away with whatever money you put down. They don't have to extend the contract. So we don't have to put the treasury on notice. Oh, my bad.
Oh, no, my fault. No, they were saying so they don't have to put the treasury as the lender.
No, that you do have to put the treasury if you're gonna send it to us to be the trustee.
I
But the
know,
ones that we've used to send off to pay our bills, and what I've been told is you can put yourself as the lender. I mean, it's coming from your trust. They've already tapped into your trust.
and the bills I paid, I use myself as the lender. Them the ones that the company accepted and sent me back the copy.
Okay. So yeah. So, but yeah, if you're going to have us be the, the trustee, then you're going to put the treasury as the lender. So yeah, we just answered that. So you're going to put yourself as the lender and the company as the borrower.
Would it be different from my wife, or are we the same in trust?
We're separate trusts, separate social security numbers. Each trust is based on your social.
Absolutely.
So
Front door.
So to pay a bill online. So when I buy a new car and don't want to pay taxes on it, I keep exactly there. We were told, we actually saw something where some guy actually asked for that, and they told him to get lost, red flag.
Right.
And he was wanting to buy it. So yeah, be careful when you go into a car dealership asking for stuff. You got to just play it cool. You got to go in and shop for the vehicle, tell them what you're looking for, get them to write up everything, show you, what the bottom dollar is going to be, and then sign it if they ask for a signature. If you agree with this price, I mean, they've made you an offer, accept the offer. It's contract law, offer and acceptance. Then when they ask you how you're going to pay, then you just say, well, the funds are coming from my trust and this is how it's going to be. Now you're the trustee in the situation because they made you an offer. You accepted their offer. You don't have to go through and put your social in and apply for a loan and all this stuff and get turned down. For an acceptance, they made you an offer. You accepted it. Now you need to tell them how you're going to pay because you're the beneficiary. They got to get the funds from the trust. And so they need to file the 1099 OID and the 1096 with the 1040V and get the money. And then they get their funds, you get the truck or car or whatever.
Something similar to my situation with the other property that I e-filed. When I sent them the copy B, it told them, hey, the instructions on how to get the check is on the bottom of here. And he texted me back, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now he knows what he got to do to get the check. So that's something that he knows that OID has to be filed.
Right.
To receive. So,
and they know it, but it's getting them to do it.
Well, actually, they're gonna do it because, like I told him, if any kickback or you don't understand, just call me. And he just told me, he said, received and thank you. So I know what he's gonna do. You see what I'm saying? Because I made it for a substantial amount, so I know he's gonna make that work because he's gonna get a nice percentage for for brokering his deal.
Right. So do you get taxed on the funds coming to you? No, I mean, it's coming from your trust. The trust can take care of the taxes.
Absolutely.
So Tara just said file a W-8-BEN and let that take care of it.
Foreign status correction. Absolutely.
So
absolutely. All you have to do is update them and let them know who you are.
That's right.
If you don't let them know who you are, how do they know who you are?
Right. Hey, go back to that. Hey, go back to that one. So with
which one?
Yeah. So that means she can get something and I can get something because of us are separate. Yeah. It's two separate trusts. Right now, like I said, we have one in escrow right now. It's in my wife's name. I just put in an offer on one, in Arizona that's going to be in my name. I'm going to use my trust for that. She's got her trust being used for the other one. So yeah, why not?
So when I purchase, he actually gonna be the one that purchased it. He gonna use his 1099A. He's listening on the phone. He's new to this.
Okay.
So the understanding I'm trying to get him to see is that all he needs to do is file that 1099A, get it accepted, and send a copy B over to you guys, and y'all will facilitate the rest to get the funds into the account. And then once they come, you will shoot them out to whatever title company or escrow company that we're dealing with for that property, right?
Yes, exactly, man.
Absolutely.
And so, and that's the same with this situation. We'll set it up as two different people.
And he needs to know that long as he has a social and a birth certificate, that he can do this. And he's of the age of majority.
Yes.
Absolutely. Do you hear that? Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. Okay. Trust fraud. Thank you for the clarity. Yes, absolutely. Yep. You got to make sure everything is done right. That's why they're beneficiaries. And that's why a lot of us is getting kickbacks on trying to purchase things, because there's no trustee involved once again.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, it's not easy to get them to understand. And if you go in and start spitting off that we're getting this from a trust that's ran by the Treasury, at the Sesticate Trust that was set up at birth, and we got this Social Security, they gonna look at your ass like, what the fuck?
They gonna say, I actually had someone, I know, like what you just said. I had someone, they sent me the video. I got the video, and they said those exact words. And I haven't talked to her since. And I was gonna tell her, like, you never mention that,
right? You can't,
because you can't. They're gonna shoot you down, because they know now you're trying to put them in a trustee situation. And you didn't even go, like he said, shop the car. You didn't go look at the vehicle. You didn't write up anything. You just came right in talking about the trust and the QV. You can't do that. You have to.
And I'm gonna tell you guys, don't call these dealerships and ask them. They're gonna tell you point blank, no, we don't take a 1099A. I mean, we can use your 1099 tax return and file when you get your funds back, but no, we don't take a 1099. You have to go in there and just play it cool, shop for your vehicle, shop for your RV, find your boat, get them to make you an offer, accept the offer, then put them into the trustee situation. So even if you come back a couple of days later with all the paperwork filled out except for their EIN number, they made you an offer. Sign that offer. Take that offer home. Tell them, thanks, I'm going to take this home and check it out for a few days, like see what I want to do. Come back with all the paperwork. Then give it to them. Say, hey, I need you to fill out this EIN right here, and I need you to sign this 1096 so you can get your funds. Don't make it awkward.
Act like you've been there before.
We have.
Act like you've been there before.
Man.
It's not the first time you've been in the end zone. Act like you've been there before.
And my wife is a master salesperson. She can talk to anybody. She actually used to work for Gulf States, which is the umbrella company for Toyota. And so she used to deal with these GMs and all these people. So she knows how to go in there and just play it cool and say, this is what I want. And if you don't understand, I need your GM, because, they need to understand what's going on. So
absolutely.
Do we file a W-8BN during taxes or whenever? You're just correcting your status. You need to, let them know that you're, was it foreign entity so just file it whenever. Don't do it just during taxes. Once it's filed, it's filed.
If you get paid on a 1099A,
a
1099.
Okay. Hey, if you are a contract employee, let's say you get paid a 1099 every year, you have to file that W-8BEN on every company that you work with. Because most contractors most contractors, they want to take 40% of your money.
Are you listening?
So that's to cover all the Social Security and all the stuff. So, yeah, if you're a contract employee and you get a 1099 every year from the company you work for, you need to file that W-8BEN on every company. So before I got into real estate, I worked as a therapist, and I was contracted with like 4 different companies. And so, every company sent me a 1099. So if I would have known this back when I was doing it, I would have been filing that on every company so that they made sure that they didn't come after me
Right.
for taxes, which I didn't pay them anyway. I wasn't worried about it. It's my money. So let's see.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Terry, I don't know if you have to file the Form 56. I've never.
That's what I be telling them. Like, we don't really mess with that fiduciary form
Yeah.
unless you like in a court case or something like that. That's what I was told. Like, I never really mess with that form.
So, yeah, you can file the W-8BEN on your LLC if you're a contract employee. If you're getting paid as a contractor and nobody's taking taxes out, but you've provided a W-9 and they're taking that and turning it into the IRS and letting them know that they've been paying you, then you need to file the W-8BEN to make sure you don't have to pay the taxes. We're also secured party creditors. I know that.
Say that I was waiting on you to say that.
I know the Midwest has done it by doing some other things, and I've heard some other ways of doing it to make sure that you're the secured party creditor. But we all are. I mean, we're the ones that are creating all this money for the country, or for all these elites. All these elite bankers in London and all this stuff. We're the creditor. We're paying the debt off that never goes away. It just gets bigger.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as long as you are getting paid as on contract work, your LLC, you're going to file it with your LLC. I mean, so that just protects you for, if you use your business, your LLC to do work, and they're paying you straight cash or whatever, but they're filing that with the IRS that they paid you, then you just need to file that W-8BEN to make sure you don't have to pay your taxes on that. Because, man, when they come after you on that, contract employees have to pay about 40% of their money in for taxes every year or more. So,
Which one are you looking at?
I was just reading. So
Basically,
no
I can
SPC.
see one as my trustee to receive the funds.
What's that now?
He said, so basically, I can appoint anyone as my trustee to receive the funds.
I mean, you can. I mean, you can look at appointing someone as your trustee. But they better make sure that, you better make sure that all the funds are going to where they need to be allocated, or at least 80%, so that whoever you appoint doesn't get in trouble for trust fraud. So, yeah, they going to. That's why, you gotta. But they ran your credit, so now they do have a fiduciary duty to you. They have an obligation as the trustee to do what you need them to do, and you need to make sure they know that. So if they've already ran your credit, they have an obligation to file that paperwork. You fill out the 1099-A with the price of the car, and put the treasury on there, and put your name on there as the borrower. And you go back up there and you tell them, hey, you signed, you took my social, you ran my credit. Now you are are the trustee and you have a fiduciary duty to access the funds from my trust, and you need to file this. You got to be bold with it.
I'll do the A and take them the copy.
There you go. I mean, yeah, go ahead and get it, and that way it's approved. Say, here's the funds, but you have a duty, fiduciary duty to my trust, and because you took my social, now you can either file this, give me the card that I want when the funds come in, or I can lien your ass and I can get multiple cars, because the car business right now is in a bad situation. All them freaking chips out there in the Pacific, and there ain't no cars on the lots. So, I mean, you put $100 million lien on a car company, or $10 million lien on a car company, even that, they'll be, what are they going to do? They're going to fold.
Yeah, absolutely.
So does the trustee sign as the trustee, or do they have to just do it through a business? The trustee's only going to, so the trustee's putting their EIN number on that. So, so they're signing it, as the trustee. It doesn't necessarily have to be a business. I did the thing that Hauser did with his rapper friend, that he did the studio. I invested in my wife's business. We did it the paper route, but we haven't got the funds yet. It's been about 32 days, so we filled out the 1199A. But even though she had a business, she used the EIN. But you're going to put the social in on the 1099 OID. You would put the lender, and then the recipient of the funds is going to be the social, if you got somebody else that's going to be your trustee.
Right. Okay.
So that's going to be, they're going to be the trustee in the situation. But like I said, I would probably rather use a business that's going to end up dispersing the funds the way you need them to be dispersed, because if they're not, and that person takes the money and they just deposit it into your account because you know them, then they could get hit with trust fraud and end up in prison for that. That's,
absolutely,
that would be something that you'd have to fight and contemplate over if you want to put somebody in that situation. We're using it as businesses. We've got, like I said, we got 4 businesses set up that we've got everything set up to go. So we've got different EIN numbers so we can handle everything to be able to get the funds and then allocate them for you and be the trustee in the situation.
And we have our corporate file.
And we have a corporation filed. One of them is a corporation. So yeah. So if they do look and say, what is all this money coming in for? We have a corporation filed. So it all, that way they're not able to come after us either. So, and then like I said, we're dispersing everything to whoever it's supposed to go to pay out. And then according to our contract, it will, they'll send us back our funds and everything else will be paid out that way. What if you're a sole proprietor? Do I still do a W-8BEN? Yes. If you're a sole proprietor, still go ahead and file that.
That'll keep you from having to pay, especially a self-employment tax.
That'll keep you from having to pay the self-employment tax. Yes. I just learned about the 8888. We had done the 1199A with the other ones, but from here out, I'm going to send that one with all the other deals. That way, I have both on file. So we're doing 5% to be your holding. So, and it's going to be 5% of the purchase price. So like I said, if you find a car that's $100,000, factor in 5% plus whatever else you're going to need But yeah, we're only going to do 5% to be your escrow agent, your broker to do that.
5%. Find your
So,
house.
so why? Let's see. Why? Yes, that's why I'm asking how to do the conditional acceptance. I mean, the conditional acceptance, you're going to have to.
I would think on that hold that thought, I would think that she should file that A first electronically and then go back with the B first before she do the conditional acceptance.
Yeah, do
I
that.
think she should do that first. I think she should file it electronically, go back with the B, and go back to that same person and let them know that it's been accepted already. Now he need to do the OID. He need to do the rest of the paperwork to receive the check.
And then
Because
if they don't, and then if they
yes.
say no, then come
Then
back.
you come back with the conditional acceptance.
Yeah. And if you're only talking to the sales guy, you need to go in there and actually ask for the GM. You need to get to the upper level and explain it to him, because the sales guy, they don't have a clue. And then if the GM doesn't know, ask for the finance manager. Get somebody that's above them, or ask for who what corporate company actually is over this one, and who the actual owner is, CEO of the company. Because just because you go to that car dealership, it might be owned by another company that has 30 or 40 different car dealerships. And so then you're gonna and that way you get to the CEO and see how to get it taken care of. Absolutely. Why can't you submit the OID online yourself? With trust, you can be all three: grantor, trustee, and beneficiary. No, you can't. According to trust law, you can only be the beneficiary.
Absolutely.
So you can be the grantor for your kids, right? Mm-hmm. You can be the grantor for your kids if they're not 18, but you cannot be for your own trust. You cannot be the trustee. So no, we don't have a website anymore. We actually took our website down, and I forgot to take it off our business cards. Company was charging us every month. They kept going up, so we had to find a new hosting site. So as soon as we find somebody to get that going, we are on Facebook. We'll put that. What is it? Jarrett Real Estate Team of Texas.
And there's Drew and Tara Jarrett Realtor.
And then there's Drew and Tara Jarrett Realtor on Facebook. And then, and as far as what state, we're actually real estate agents in Texas, but we can help you in whatever state you're in. I mean, we can talk to realtors all over, negotiate a fee with them, a showing fee or whatever, and then that way they can go out and show houses in whatever state, But as far as being the trustee, if you want us to be the trustee, and that way you can still have an agent go show the house, and they're not having to ask you for proof of funds. They basically have to come to us to ask for proof of funds. So no, if you conditionally accept them right, you give them, you have them give you power of attorney to lien them. So you got to make sure that your conditional acceptance actually has that in there, because you actually have the power to do it without the court system. Remember now, the court system's not for you. If you are of the land, you don't want to go to the court system. That puts you back into their jurisdiction, their law. This like the IRS states that all three are allowed in any trust. The grantor. Not according to the trust law.
Not in your trust.
So, and not in your trust. You can't be that actually in your own trust. You have to, you can only be the beneficiary to your trust.
If you set up a pure trust, you can assign who you want to be.
Yeah, if you set up a pure trust, you can assign a trustee. And once you assign that trustee,
And it can be you.
and it can be you, but it has to be a pure trust. Pure trusts are different than the trust that we're talking about with our Trustee. So, hey, hold on one second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, in a pure trust, you can assign a trustee, a grantor. You can assign your beneficiary, and like my husband could be a trustee, I could be a beneficiary, and that way he can manage the trust, and I could operate the way that we do with our Trustee. But on your Trustee trust, you can't be a trustee.
Now somebody said that they can reach out to, they can help with the website design and host.
Okay, because we need that.
And then you got a question right here. After you e-file the A and generate the 1096, isn't that proof of funds?
When you get the B back, it is.
Yeah, the proof of funds is only when you get that acceptance and you get that copy B. I thought you can operate in trust capacity, but only separate, not at the same time.
You can operate in a trustee capacity in a pure trust or an irrevocable trust or a living trust, but not in your Trustee.
Absolutely. I would like to know.
Yeah, go ahead. Do them both separate. Because your house is going to be more that way. All your funds, whenever you get the funds in for the house, you're going to spend 80% of that for the house, and then you're going to spend 80% of what you get for the car. Whatever you ask, you're going to spend 80% of that to deal with the car. So yeah, just file two separate ones and see what happens. On that, see if they both get approved at the same time. Great. Then you got both of them coming in.
What's up? Let me see where we at right here.
They're asking for proof of funds before you go out and see it, or what?
They're asking for proof of funds before something. How do I respond to that? Because they don't want to hear about nothing after, nothing coming after. You have to file that you got to do your filing first. File your A and then go back. Your B is proof that the funds is accepted, and they have to do the OID to get the check.
Right.
So just do your filing online and then go from there.
I mean, as realtors, we're told we're supposed to ask for proof of funds. But if you start really digging into the Fair Housing Act, proof of funds is illegal to ask for.
Absolutely.
So what they're doing is illegal. Appreciate it, man. And, but they're not going to hear that. So if you have a trustee in the situation, then they call us and say, hey, we're working with such and such on this house and we need proof of funds. Well, okay, I'll generate you a proof of funds real quick because I'm the trustee in the situation.
Yes, you can file your 1099-A online yourself. Absolutely. That's what he said. That's what we was telling you guys.
What's that going to buy you in Cali? $3 million. 2-bedroom?
Right, because what I looked at was stupid.
But yeah, we can help with whatever state and what you're looking at, man.
It's like this. As long as it's not over $100 million on that transaction, he can help you with it.
Sounds great. We can do it. We definitely can.
And that's just being real. There's no jokes or no nothing about it. That's just how it goes. 10th of a half of an acre. He said 10th with a half acre. Shit, I got
A tenth with a half. Oh, he was responding. I said, "What is the 3 million?"
Yeah.
He said a tenth with a half acre.
Right. That's it.
That's about right. So, Summer, yes, you can file your 1099-A on yourself, and then when you get the Part B back, you can let me know that you've got it, and then we can go from there with what we got to file.
And then when we get off here, Drew, I'm gonna call you and we're gonna talk about something. We're gonna set some stuff up. That way you and your wife won't be swamped.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Yeah. That way I'll be able to we'll be able to help you out too on my end. Me and a couple guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. We'll take a few more questions. We've been on here for 2 hours, so take a few more questions. It's up to you, Drew. Like,
yeah,
I'm
man.
good, but
we can get a couple more. See what we got.
And then we go from there. But I think he done answered everything, and all they got to do is just find the property, do they filing, and get back in touch with you with that B.
Right. That's it. And then we
simple.
submit what we got to submit so that we can get the funds in. And like I said, we're looking at some other ways to see if we can get the money faster. This whole waiting game is where the problem is. So if we can get the funds in 15, 20 days, 30 days, then we can get moving with houses faster. We can close on deals quicker for everybody. So we're checking into some things right now to see how we can do it, whether we can just walk into the bank with that Part B, take the other forms, see if they'll file it, see if they can cut me a check, whatever. We're willing to put it out there and see what we can do to get everybody's funds, speed up the process, not sit there and wait for 45 days for money to come in. So, yep, this is our Jubilee.
No, it's just a grade screen, man. It ain't the new house yet. It was just something different. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a green screen. I ain't gonna lie to nobody. But I did sign all my papers for my closing, and I sent them back in today to the company. They'll get them on Monday. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. Like I done tried a lot of different stuff, just going out there, just trying it before anybody else do it. That way we can have some type of evidence and evidence of results.
Right. I mean, and we've got, like I said, we got one right now that all our paperwork's been sent to the Treasury. So we sent it off, mailed it off. But then when I learned about doing that we could do it online, we filed it online as well. So I think we just got the copy B back, and we're going to submit the OID with it too, and see how that goes. We actually have the business or the title company's EIN number, so we're going to be able to use them and submit the OID.
I wouldn't want more than one trustee. If the trustee I got is taking care of the business that I need taken care of, I wouldn't want more than one trustee. I wouldn't want more than one person administering my estate, at the same time. So, but it's to each his own.
Right.
If we use our 1099A for a nice truck and a transfer to my location, that would be lovely. Absolutely. All you got to do is
Yeah.
file it. Make sure you got enough of everything. I mean,
Yep.
Trinity and you, brother. Thank you, Andrew. Absolutely.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
it,
I appreciate you guys as well. And with that being said, y'all know what time it is. I got to put that down.
man. Nah, man. That's all natural. God made it for you.
Absolutely, but it's time. They know what time it is. I always do a prayer at the towards the end of my little segment. So I'm gonna get the prayer in real fast, and then if they have a couple questions, we'll take those, and then we'll get off here.
All right, man.
All right. With that being said, everybody bow your head, palms up. You know you can't receive blessing with closed hands, so you have to open them up. Have to open them up. First and foremost, I got a call yesterday, and I want to start the prayer off with this. Dear Father God, we want to thank you for everything that you have done, everything that you have been doing, and everything that you are about to do. Father God, we want to thank you for everything. This blessing with Drew coming into the live, him and his wife coming to the forefront, and I call it a war. So they're on the front lines just like me. I appreciate everybody coming in here, appreciating the prayers. We thank you for everything. I'm just lost for words at this moment, but I'm gonna get it together. We just ask you to keep the armor protection around us as we move through our days in and out. And we ask you to just touch us, give us guidance and understanding about what's going on, so the questions can lessen and the actions can move forward and become a reality. Father God, I just ask you for understanding for me on my half, and touch each and every one of these people, these viewers, and their families as well. We ask you to touch them so they can have understanding of what's really going on and how we're able to access these things that we're talking about tonight here on this segment. And with that being said, amen.
Amen.
Amen and amen.
Saw a question about, it doesn't matter if it's the dealership or online. I mean, if we have the funds in as the trustee, we'll submit them. So, you just have to tell us where you're buying the car, and we have to, have the finance guy call or whatever, or you submit us the purchase order and we'll pay it, So yeah, that doesn't matter.
So we'll submit you guys the purchase order with the copy B as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that.
Okay, cool. That's all we need, y'all.
All right.
That's all we need. Until next time, y'all, because I do want to talk to him for a little while. Because I got some ideas, just listening to everything that's being said. That's why I get quiet, because I like to listen. So I come up with some ideas. Yeah, we'll get ready to get off here, and we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming out, joining us for this little segment. Wow, we've been on here for 2 hours and 22 minutes. That's 222. That's a good number.
Yep.
Hey, Drew, good. Get back at me. I emailed you. He will. Trust me. He got 1,000 emails. They will reach back out. Just do what you have to do on your end, and then submit that to him, and then it'll be faster versus just talking about what you want to do and how you want to do it. Get that A accepted and come back with that B, and then you can move a little faster.
Yep. Perfect. And guys, yeah, we will get back to everybody. We're still scheduling everybody from the last week and a half. So, we go through the emails, answer back and forth, and then once we get several people that we're trying to help, we're trying to help everybody, but we also have people that are wanting us to negotiate deals with realtors. And so it's just the two of us, and, trying to negotiate everything and help you guys with all the calls. Like I said, we spend about 45 minutes to an hour with everybody. So, we start early, and it's sometimes 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night when we're finished, guys. So we'll get with you. Promise.
Right. So if you can get that A accepted and bring that B back, a lot of questions will be answered themselves, and you won't have to take that long, because, you got to think it's somebody else in line waiting on that call too as well to reach out and contact Drew. So let's not be selfish and be on there like that. We could, that's what we got the YouTube for, to get all your questions out that you want to ask. But when you contact Drew, you ready to go and move forward with your house or your car or your boat or whatever the situation may be.
That's it.
Absolutely. So with that being said, y'all, peace. Have a good rest of y'all evening.
Appreciate it, guys. Y'all take care.
All righty. Drew, you could just hold on a second.